Hello and welcome back to Disc Golf Daily, the podcast that tries to catch you up on all things disc golf. And I'm Brian Papa Wolf Frawley, and we're recapping the Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Plus event Ledgestone 2024. A little bit different Ledgestone. We saw 4 rounds, but we didn't see anything on Northwood Black because of course, Champions Cup happening earlier this year. So we were 4 rounds at Sunset Hills for the FPO and 4 rounds at Eureka Temp for the MPO. Don't know how you feel about it. I thought it was interesting to see the holes being played. Always cool to watch, but I missed the second course, me personally. I've been out there a lot, got to spectate. So it was a little bit different for me to see that, but we hope you still enjoyed the coverage, still enjoyed the battles, and well, congratulate the winners. Good stuff right there. So we had a pretty American field for the most part on both sides, with many of the Europeans staying in Europe until Worlds in 2 weeks. We did have a handful of internationals in the men's side, Jakob Simmerad, and on the women's side, Chantal Badinsky, coming over from Canada. But for the most part, an all-American field on both sides. If we go over to our FPO and we look after 2 rounds, we see that there was a little bit of separation. Holland Hanley had a 4-stroke lead over Lisa Fakis, who had 2-stroke leads over Haley King, Eliezer Middleton, and Stacy Ronsley. And Rebecca Cox. And Owen Scoggins. And Missy Gannon. So your 8 players were in your top 3, but separated by 6 strokes. On the parallel, on the MPO side, you had 9 players in the top 10, separated by 5 strokes. So that's pretty interesting right there. We saw Lisa have an amazing amount of throw-ins. During round 3, we saw Haley King push up with the hot round at -8 during round 3, which led us to a finals of the lead card of Holland Hanley with a 4-stroke lead over Haley King, and Owen Scoggins with a 1-stroke behind Haley King. And then we had a big tie at 4th as well with Stacy Ronsley, Missy Gannon, and Lisa Fakis as well. And then just outside, creeping in, second chase card was Ella Hansen and Paige Pierce as well. The finals got going. Holland walked in with a 4-stroke lead, birdied 5 of the first 7 holes. Lisa fought hard. She birdied 5 of the first 6 holes, but then went 6 pars in a row. Haley King came out on fire with 4 straight birdies. Unfortunately found herself with a bogey on 6 and a couple birdies and a few bogeys on the back end. Well, congratulations to Holland Hanley for taking down the Discraft Ledgestone Open presented by Grip, I believe is the long name. But you heard on the commentators, could she do it? Could she hold the lead all the way through? That was one of the bigger questions. Well, she ended up shooting a -8 along with Lisa for hot round. Emily Weatherman tied that as well for 1,003 rated round. Oh, Ella Hansen also did. My apologies, I missed her in that recap. So the finals looked Holland in first, Lisa in second, tied with Haley King. Ella Hansen jumped up to 4th. Owen Scoggins fell down to 5th. Paige Pierce jumped up to tie Missy Gannon at 6th. Emily Weatherman in 8th. Stacy Ronsley in 9th. And Eliezer Middleton rounds up your top 10. That brings us over to your Disc Golf Pro Tour standings for the FPO players. And Missy got herself 73 points for 6th place, expanding that lead. Holland got herself 125, so she's up into 2nd place now, ahead of Owen Scoggins. Evelina and Kristen Tatar did not participate in this event, but they'll be back at Worlds. Ella Hansen is in 6th, Natalie Ryan in 7th, Henna Bloomrose, Kat Murch, and Rebecca Cox round out your top 10 for Disc Golf Pro Tour standings on the women's side. Stacy Ronsley shot 28 points over her rating. Eliezer Middleton shot 27 points, and Emily Weatherman shot 24 points. You got to shoot over your rating to come in the top 10 on both the MPO and FPO side. Unfortunately, Sarah Holcomb, Allie Smith, and Jessica Weiss were your highest rated players to not cash or make the cut in this 4-round event, if you will. Going over to the MPO side, after 2 rounds, you had Gannon Burr with a 2-stroke lead over Kyle Klein, with Calvin Heimberg in third. And then, as mentioned, a long tie for 4th place with Isaac Robinson, Luke Taylor, GT Hancock, Jakub Semerad, Aaron Gossett, Emerson Keith, and Evan Smith was in 10th. Big grouping. After round 3, we had our cut in your final, your lead 4, if you will, were Gannon Burr, Kyle Klein, Ezra Robinson, who shot the hot round of the day in round 3 at minus 12 to jump up to 3rd place. Isaac Robinson, his brother, joins him on lead card, who's tied for 4th with Jakub Semerad, Calvin Heimberg, and in 7th we had Chris Dickerson and GT Hancock just looking out the window, seeing if they could make a move on the final day. The final day did start interesting because Gannon did not birdie the first hole. Kyle did. Gannon double bogeyed the second hole, and Kyle bogeyed the second hole. So Kyle caught up 2 strokes right away, on Gannon Burr. And Ezra and Isaac started with 3 birdies within the first 5 holes, each of them as well. Isaac had a great throw-in on the par 5, hole 13, for an eagle. It was over 300 feet. Very exciting shot. But at the end of the day, Gannon Burr birdies 9 of the final 10 holes to cruise in for a 7-stroke victory over Ezra Robinson. Chris Dickerson and Calvin Heimberg ended up sharing the 3rd spot for the podium. Kevin Jones has a wonderful 3rd and 4th round and climbs up that leaderboard to get a top 5 finish. Isaac Robinson, Kyle Klein round out your top 6. But there's this guy that shot a really hot round today. And there's a big tournament coming up in 2 weeks. And the guy that shot the hottest round today was a bogey-free minus 12. And he's won that world championship 6 times. So is he warming up for a run? We'll talk about that next week in the predictions episode. By the way, in case you want to know, next week there's no Pro Tour recap. I'm going to do a little prediction. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But if you have a prediction, feel free to comment on the YouTube or on any of our socials. And maybe we'll address some of those next week. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for commenting, liking. It's always fun. And thanks for those emails. Sorry, I got distracted. We're going to roll back over to the MPO Disc Golf Pro Tour standings. Gannon Burr expands his lead over Ricky, but Ricky did not play. Neither did Nicolas. So 2 and 3 held still. Calvin coming in 3rd gets himself 90 points. Anthony Barella only received 1 point, 1.5 points. He made the cash line, but came really close to it after the round. Ezra Robinson jumped up with 106 points over Kyle Klein. So he now is over Kyle Klein by 20-ish points. Kyle's in 7th there. And then Paul Macbeth is in 8th. Isaac Robinson in 9th. And Chris Dickerson is in 10th, rounding out your Ledgestone recap for your Disc Golf Pro Tour standings. On the men's side, GT Hancock, Ryan Mulder, Kevin Jones, and Austin Turner all shot well, 30 points over their ratings for cash. And in the players that did not cash, or make the cut in this example, Joey Buckets Anderson is having a great year. Casey White and Ben Calloway, unfortunately, were highest rated players that did not cash. Pretty interesting scores on the MPO side for the course. Looked like hole 4 played with the highest average of pars and the least amount of spread, if you will, over your time. And then on the FPO side, at sunset, there was a lot of what I would call 65, 70 plus par holes where there wasn't a lot of scoring differentials. So it'll be interesting to see how the organizing committee and Nate and his staff look at those holes, see if there's any shakeup before 2025, where we bring back the Northwood Black course. As always, thanks again for listening. We really appreciate it here at Disc Golf Daily. We've got some amazing episodes coming up this week. If you haven't taken a chance to listen to Seth Fenley's interview with Wes Schindever from Discraft Underground, which we released over this weekend, highly suggest it. Good listen right there. 2 intelligent men talking about disc golf. I love talking disc golf. Thanks as always for your emails, your comments, your likes, your subscribes. Those things mean a lot for us. Remember to tell a stranger this week that you listen to Disc Golf Daily. And until next time, keep it in the fairway.
Thank you so much for watching please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It really does help us grow.